compute both the curl and divergence of the following vector field. So we have a three-dimensional vector field. So let me first find divergence. That is just the dot product of this del operator with this vector f. And note that this del operator is just del x y z. Okay, so that is in fact in this case dz dot with this vector field given here, ex sine y, ey sine z, ez sine x. Now we take the dot product. It's basically this operator on this component plus this operator on this. So take partial derivative of this function with respect to x. So with respect to x means sine y is constant and ex is just ex plus take the partial derivative of this middle component with respect to y. So ey is just ey and sine z is just constant plus similarly with respect to g, so eg just eg, sine x is constant. That's it. Next, let's find the curl of this vector field, okay, of this f, and which is a cross product. Curl of this vector field is, let me write in this way, I j k. Okay, let me space out. And next, this is same as writing in notation, this del operator cross the vector field f, and del x, del y, del z, and now the vector field, these components, okay, which is e raised to x sine y, e raised to y sine z, e raised to z sine x. Okay, let's find this cross product, and we are gonna get vector with three components. So let me write in component form. So the first component is, we just consider I and delete the row and column containing I. So this way minus this way. That means take the partial derivative of this with respect to y minus take the partial derivative of this with respect to z. So with respect to y, let's do this way. There is no y function, so partial derivative with respect to y is 0 minus this way partial derivative of this with respect to z, ey remains constant, and derivative of sine z is cosine z, comma, that's the first component. Next we're gonna work with this second component j. Okay, for we have to put negative sign because due to the location of this j, plus minus plus. So here we go this way and this. Okay, we delete the row and column containing j, so this way partial derivative of this with respect to x. So, and this way would be negative, this way would be positive for j. So let me do this way first, then positive part. Partial of this with respect to g, there is no g term, so 0 minus this way with respect to x, e g is constant and derivative of sine x is cosine x. Okay, I did the backward because this j, I was supposed to put negative in the front, that's why I did backward. And for the third component now, we delete the row and column containing k. So here, so usual partial derivative of this with respect to x, there is no x, so 0 minus this way. Partial derivative with respect to y, ex is constant, so it's ex, and derivative of sine y is cosine y, and this is it. Okay, I wrote in component form. This is same as negative e raised to y cosine z minus e raised to z cosine x minus e raised to x cosine y. Final